Not any. I don't have any Asian friends that were actually Asian. They're American Asian. Like they're Asian descent.
So how do you think
they know English.
They would feel if you walked up to them and said, "You're not actually Asian. You're American Asian"?
I wouldn't say I'm actually black. I'm African American. I'm an African descent living in American. Living in America. It's about vernacular. Like I would say, I don't. You're not actually Asian. You're not from Asia. You're from Asian descent. Like I don't know her history. But either she was born here, or her family's in the military. I never really cared to. I never really cared to ask, to be honest. But either she was born here or her family was in the military. Either way, she's an American, not Asian. Because it's Asian American, but it's a different concept.
Are you talking about nationality? You need to specify nationality.
It's all kind of the same thing. Because I'm not afraid to back up my statements.
I don't want to be a part of it.
Because Asian is a whole momentum. But even if you were from Vietnam and you moved here, and you lived, I don't know how long it takes before you become Americanized. But even once you move here, you're not even really Vietnamese. You kind of just become human. You're from Vietnam.
Human? Are they not human?
You're all Vietnamese.
They're still...
No, because people become I'm black. I'm black and proud. You're just human. You just happen to have brown skin. It become the things that they just happen to become an actual thing. They're not actually Asian. There's people that live over there that have tan skin that we have a name for, and that whole momentum behind Asian is what I'm saying. I think that's what they're trying to trick you, because it's all the same thing. You're human first, and your black only comes into consideration when you have to think about sun and maybe some type of medical treatment. Your skin has nothing to do with your day to day. If the sun, if
Nicholas,
there wasn't skin. That's what I'm about to say. Besides the sun, the sun is the main difference. I mean, there are some genetic things besides the sun. The sun's the main difference. But if we all lived inside, there would be no reason to ever mention skin, because there'd almost be no difference.
Well, don't live outside.
Anemic. That's what I'm But I'm saying the sun is the only factor that makes blackness, whiteness, or anything even slightly matter. So it doesn't actually matter. You're not black. Maybe you make jokes about not going outside.
That's a whole line, bro. You're not black.
I mean, you're not black. You're brown. Oh. Some people a little south of midnight, but
oh my God.
You're not black. You're brown. Culture is the breakdown of what what a group of people is doing. It doesn't mean they have to be doing that. It just means that is what they're doing. Black people culture isn't culture because they choose to be doing it. It's culture because over years they've adopted a bunch of different things and it became the culture. They just do that because they used to do that. We rap, we cook this way, we do so and so and so. That becomes the culture. Culture isn't just a thing that's established. That's why we feel like we don't have culture. That's why we feel like we weren't born into culture.
I have culture.
Yeah, you feel like you have culture, but we weren't born into black culture. We were just us. We never grew up. Oh, we got to be listening to this. We got to do that. We got to do this. We were just living. Our culture came from the fact that we didn't have something from there. So our culture came from, okay, what do we have here? We have ourselves. We have families. That's why black people are really close with their family. They really like music. They really like the church, because that's all we had, and it became the culture. We never broke out of that culture. That's why it's black culture, not just life. The culture is just the happenings of, because I can understand nigga, I can understand the nods up, and I understand the culture. It's amongst these people, what are some things that are common amongst them? What are things that they just know? It doesn't mean that they have to know it to be that thing. It's just because some people, if you ever do if you ever treat an African like an African American, the interactions will not be the same, because it's different cultures. Not because they're not black, but because there's different cultures. They're from a different area. They react to different stimuli. People react to different stimuli. And that's why different cultures react different ways. It's not that they can't react a different way. It's that they're used to doing it a certain way.
You need to get some
therapists. That's why when you go out and talk to more people, and you're like, oh, you do this and this. Oh, that's similar to how we do it. But you do it because when you were young, your mom did that way. You just kept doing it. Or when your grandma studied it for years and years, that's why y'all do it this way. But for us, we just do it this way because we've always done, like, that's what culture is. It's what you've always done, and just like it built into, oh, they've always done it this way. You can kind of guess what it is. That's the culture. Culture's not like a thing like they do that, because like there's not a single thing you could say I do because I'm black. I do things because I want to do it, and I take into account of my environment and move accordingly. Not because of my culture, not because I'm black, because I'm me and I live the life I live and move accordingly.
Push too many things in one box.
It's all the same thing. And you know what's funny?
But
that's the culture of the United States. You can actually say white, and you can say nigga in England because in their culture.
I wish they'd say nigga to me too. They'd get caught.
Yeah, because it's American culture to not say nigga.
No.
Because nigga, that's different. See, because like nigga, like the way we say nigga, we're not offended because we know what we mean. We mean it.
But they
it's
don't,
just a word
and
that,
they don't want
to
know.
Yes, they do, Gianna.
How do you know?
Because they're human.
No, when K-pop idols sing a song and they hear nigga, they go nigga this, nigga that, but they don't look it up. When I see a song if I see a Korean song, I never sing lyrics to a Korean song without looking it up. Ever.
Then, because it's not in the code, they don't care what the word is. That's what I'm saying.
That's the issue.
In England, it doesn't matter because they're not being offensive. If I say nigga to you, it doesn't matter because like I'm not being offensive.
It's crazy.
If they say nigga, there's like
you
okay.
Get got in those live streams. They be like, hey nigga, come over here, nigga.
I just thought it meant black.
Like you because you're black.
I just thought it was black with that. That's them being weird, not being accepting of people. Like I like you because you're black. Like no, I like you because you're reserved. You're exciting. Like having a reason. Like so we're not. Oh, come here, nigga. I like you because you're black. Oh, I said nigga because I thought that meant black people. Like that's just ignorance, not culture. I have a thoughtful mind. You have an Americanized. You literally have a college mind. Okay, I'll tell you this. You wake up in rural, or let's say, I'll say we live in a rural, not real suburban area. You wake up in a suburban area in Japan. You wake up. You probably walk outside. Probably no cars right where you live. You probably have to walk a while before you have to get to your car. I don't really know Japan. But generally, in Asian countries, they walk a decent, like, the only time they drive is, like, when they got to go somewhere.
Actually, it's not just Asia. It's every country but
ours. Pretty much everywhere but ours. And then, if they got to go somewhere that's longer than, like, a 10-minute walk, they hop on a train. They're there in a couple minutes. And in that mind frame, it's like, okay, I don't have to have a car. I don't have to worry about those payments. Everything I need is within 10 minutes. Like, I don't got to make a 30-minute drive nowhere. Unless I just, like, something, like, crazy out there or something. But you take that same person and move them to America, it's like, oh, I got to think about traffic. I got to think about if it's available. I got to think about scalpers. It's because culture is a made up.
Because I want to say that's my culture as an American.
It's because culture is a made up thing. Like culture is a thing where it just happens to be where you are. Because like it's American culture to eat 3 times a day. Because like, oh, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Like that's American culture because like we all experience that. So it's like, oh yeah, we're supposed to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's just how it is. Then you go otherwhere in the country, like, what? Why breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Just eat when you're hungry, or eat when you need to eat. It's like it's the experience we all had, and that's what makes it culture. It's not culture because that's what we have to do.
That just exists for no reason.
We care about what we want, and you can take that across all intellects. Like no matter how much you build off the intellect, everything wants to do what it wants. And as humans, we realize there's only so much you can do without interfering with other people. So we created rules. We're like, okay, you can't do that because if you start doing that, you're interfering with me and I'm going to shoot you or you're going to shoot me. So we create these rules so we stay in line. And that creates a culture because like, oh, we have these rules. So instead of getting angry and shooting you, we just talk it down. And that creates a culture because there's rules.
Rules?
No, I feel
rules
like
make the culture because like,
pretty
that
much
don't make sense because if the rules.
Because if we lived in an infinity and there was no rules, there would be no culture because every single thing would be so different from the next thing. So there would be no culture. You'd never be able to say there's the black culture or white culture because everything would be completely different from itself.
I think you're
But the rules allow you to break down into different things. It's like it's a culture of that thing. Like it's a rule that I cannot put my hand through this table. Like that's a physical rule.
That's scientific.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. Like
that has nothing to do with culture.
That's what I'm saying. School is trying to school makes you think everything is different. Rules is literally mean
everything is different.
Rules literally mean you can't do. There's human rules where they say you can't kill people. You can kill people whenever you feel like it.
Yeah,
there'll just be repercussions. No, it's rules.
Morals. You can kill anybody you want.
Yeah.
Morally, you shouldn't.
You can murder anyone.
Morals are just why you don't do the things you do or why you do the things you do. It's not necessarily good morals or bad morals because that's all perspective. Like it could be like maybe someone has like a system where like they get $1 million each time they kill someone. Yeah, it's you're a criminal for not letting me kill somebody. Like it's all perspective.
Unfortunately,
so like there is no good or bad.
That you pull from are scenarios that don't exist in our now. Like I get
you exist in our now. It exists in our now.
You don't get $1 million for killing somebody.
That was the only thing I pulled from.
I know, but still, like you'll think of something that is not of our existence right now, and it's like right now what we do have. Yes, we have a culture, but the thing is, right now people try to dilute black culture, especially because they are fearful of black people. Even in because even in K-pop, hip hop stemmed from us. Country music stemmed from us. Most products have stemmed from black people, not just black Americans, but black people in every area. Have stemmed from black people. So when you bring in that culture does not matter, it allows other cultures, other people of other cultures to be like, oh, that came from us, I don't see the problem with taking that. So when we step in and we're like, hey, that's ours, or we try to partake in other people's cultures, there's an issue then because they're like, oh no, because you're not a part of us, you don't understand where we come from or X, Y, and Z, but they don't want to understand us because we don't have that same background because we were taken from where we were supposed to be. So now we had to build our own thing. Our black culture is the music, the little functions that we have together, the little steps, the little nods, the little handshakes. That is the culture. It's not about what we do and can't do. I don't have to eat watermelon if I don't want to. I don't have to eat chicken. But that is a what's the word? That's someone being prejudiced towards me. That's someone making racist jokes at me. Those are two different things. Just because they think it's a part of our culture, it's for some people a part of their daily life if they want to eat chicken or whatever.
The difference between prejudice and culture is acceptance. If I call you nigga, but I was white, you don't accept it. But I'm black, and I say nigga, it's culture. Yeah, that's because that's y'all's culture.
I don't think we're using culture
when you step in, when someone else comes to that equation, it's no longer y'all's culture. It's the three of y'all's culture. And say it's another black dude that he doesn't know. He would no longer be allowed to say nigga because the new culture is there's someone here who might be offended by it. He knows you won't be offended by it. That's why the culture is you can say whatever you want. Okay, but I'll tell you like this. You know why people lock their hair?
Why?
Because they're not allowed to cut their hair and afros are too much work. So they came up with a hairstyle that allows them to move without their hair being all over the place. They can just get up every day, their hair's already done. That's why locks were a thing. Why people would never develop locks because their hair stays where it needs to be. So they invented braids because they can braid the hair and it stays.
So just because of the scenario.
Yes, it's the history behind it that creates the culture. Culture exists, but it exists on specific planes. Like it's the culture of this, culture of that. But the culture isn't a thing in the sense of it's not static. It's not like a solid thing. Like culture is just describing the things that a group does. But that doesn't mean that other groups can't do it. Cause like the reason that I'll go to the black music for example. Y'all are talking about randoms. I'm talking about people who is like, okay, y'all wear that because you don't want to show your skin. You know, that's kind of a cool idea. I kind of don't want people to see my skin. I'm going to put that on. And then people ask you, are you Muslim? No, I'm not Muslim. I just don't want people to see my skin. No, it's the same thing because, like, There are some people who be like, oh, that looks cool, I'll do it, and then they have no actual reason. They're just like, oh, I thought it looked cool.
No,
but then again, if you thought it looked cool, that's the reason. Like,
with that reasoning, I don't
can't tell people not to do it.
People don't like to.
The thing that brought so much greatness out of slavery is nobody had anything. So what we had to do was what we can.
Yeah,
it was like
that's.
We had to come up with we had to come up with stuff.
Greatness came from Vikings. Not
greatness comes out of everywhere. You know, our whole space race came from the Nazis. All our space stuff came from Nazi tech. It's the Von Braun Center, the Space and Rocket Center.
I don't claim none of that.
That's all Nazi. Those are all ex-Nazis. You know, Africans sold more slaves than white men sold. No, because they knew they could make money, so they're like,
are you listening to history?
I'm gonna sell them. I think y'all are giving white men way too much power. If a white man came in here right now, what power does he have?
See, that's because it's. I gotta know
the point is, the only power is like, yeah, they might be able to suppress you, but like, say, like, suppression comes from literal people. Because like, if people know you, how are they gonna suppress you? Like, like, say you went and talked to 1,000 people. And they're like, oh yeah, I know Kendall. And then you get famous, the government's like, nah. The white man's like, nah, he's this and this. Is like, nah, I've talked to him. What are you talking about? The white men have literally tricked you into thinking that like these things that they have make them powerful. Like, nah, like the only thing that makes the Oscars powerful is that we all know about it. But like, I never watch the Oscars, and if you choose to stop watching the Oscars, you would never watch it because y'all sound like y'all aren't happy with Oscars.
But guess what?
So y'all probably never gonna watch the Oscars again.
He's
playing the system. It's not even that they have the power. The system is the power. Now, it's a system that they played with that we allowed them to play with because we're like, oh, they have the power.
You cannot play the game any other way.
But the way the game works, we have a beautiful constitution that, for the most part, I'll make some additions to it, but it's beautiful in the sense of, yeah, they have enough stuff where it seems like you can't do enough, but like within the Constitution, I can go out right now, talk to 1 million people, get them on my side, and do whatever I want. I can make anything happen. We can go out, form groups, change votes. Like the Constitution allows me to do that. It seems like I don't have the power to do that because there's no direct path for me to do that. I can go to school and I can talk to people. I can go to work and talk to these people.
You can't.
But the white people have they already have the pass where it's kind of like, oh, you go to this gala and you meet all these people. Then you already have those networks. Black people don't have those networks. I mean, they started to build them. Like if you go to Atlanta, they're all over the place. But like naturally, black people don't have those because like we never had them. White people have always had them, so they still have them. And it seems like we don't got the power,
no, we
do. We just got to go out and do it.
We do it.
I don't like to argue that election because it was a moot point to begin with. Because like we had Trump, who wasn't Kamala, and we had Kamala, who was Kamala.
It was a done deal regardless.
Yeah.
But like,
I honestly, I would rather Trump because Kamala, like she's propagated. It would be 4 more years of Joe. Like we don't know who was running we know Joe had cancer. We know he had dementia.
Now we
don't know who was running the country the last 4 years.
That concerns me.
And if she got back in, nothing would have changed. It would have been the same
but
people.
The 4 years is over, but now we're going through another 4, and he is threatening to do another more 4. And guess what? He might be able
I don't think you'd be.
You don't think, but you don't know.
I feel like the true patriot, the true patriots would not allow that to happen. Like
who's the true patriots? The white men?
Yeah, the same white people would storm the Capitol. I can almost guarantee.
They did that because of him, in support of him.
They literally did that because of him.
No,
They're
but
like,
some people
they rioted because he.
Yeah,
it was
some
rigged
people, it wasn't
against him.
Yeah, it wasn't that it was rigged against him. I mean, they would say it wasn't because it was rigged against him, but like in their heads, it was like it's because it was rigged. Period.
What?
Like,
They don't care if it's rigged in their favor.
Because it was rigged this time and no one rioted.
They didn't think it was rigged, but like they thought there was actual proof. Because connections don't really make that's just politicking. Like I know these people. Yeah, vote for me. That's not rigging. They thought there was actually because there was lots of propaganda where like they actually brought up fake real proof where there's fake ballot stuffings, hackings. They thought legitimately it was stolen. So like they're like, oh, we gotta take back America. These people are actually cheating. So like that's what that was. I mean, some people they were just stupid. Some people were patriots trying to take back America. Some were for Trump. But it wasn't just like it being stupid.
But
I mean,
they were being stupid.
They were being. I just forgot what we were arguing. That's why I went to that point. What were we arguing? I would say it.
No, don't ever say that to
nobody. They might not.
Right?
Like the only reason I wouldn't say it is because they wouldn't know what I'm saying. But like if they gave me the chance to like break it down, like, oh, you're not Asian because you don't think in the Asian. Like the Asian culture,
the Asian culture,
literally just waking up in Asia. That's the Asian culture. Like
no,
if you wake up in America, no, it's not. Nationality is just where, like who,
where
like,
you
who,
are.
No,
where are your
nationality is
for life?
Nationality is who. Nationality is who has ownership of you. Because like if all the countries got blown up, you don't have any nationality.
That's wicked. Ownership is crazy.
That sounds wicked, but that's what it is. If all the countries blew up, like if you go anywhere and commit a crime, you get tried for. If you commit an American crime, even if it's legal anywhere else, they can try you over here. I think it's only if it's federally. But like, it's who has your reign, like whose rules you have to follow, who has your back. But it's not.
Do you look at an Asian person on the street and be like, "Oh, that's an American"?
Nope.
That doesn't.
I think they're a person.
They are still a person.
Why would no? I don't like that. Your first thought is human because I feel like that's a given. Because it'd be different if we're living in a society.
Yes, because this is what it is. Every person is a person. So like you just treat them like a person. Like you don't.
But some people have different definitions of how you should treat people.
No, and then if you treat everybody in the way, in the sense of,
but white people don't
do what you want,
way. And so do other cultures.
Okay, for instance, let's use like a non-negative version of it. I'm non-negative, it's a double negative, but let's use a positive version of it. If somebody walked up to me and was like, you know what, man, like a white guy, a white friend walked up to me and I was like, why are you friends with me, bro? And he was like, you know what, man, because like as a person, like you're just like, you're a good person, man. Like you're really good as a person, as a human. You're just a human out here and you're just a good person. And I'm like, so it's like nothing else, like it just nothing else happened, like I'm just a person, like, and he's like, yeah, just because you're a person, like that guy, everyone else is a person, you're a person, and I like you because you're a good person.
That'd make me think he has nothing going on in his life. You like people because there's a reason, like they make you do they do so and so, they give you so and so, like friends have a reason.
Well, yeah, but like as opposed, if the same guy was like, because like, and he like, if he added that he saw the way like I carried myself or the way like specific, like it has more like a more context when the person can say something positive specifically about you as opposed to like,
because we're all human, so it's kind of weird. I like you because you're human.
Yeah, I expect that you know I'm human. Like I would assume that you don't think I'm something else.
Yeah, that's not, liking someone has nothing to do with just what you are.
I mean, I would hope so, but like if the compliment was more like I really like appreciate you, like, you know, like,
because a compliment could be, I like that you treat everybody like they're human. I know you can't have problems because it's a good compliment. Because like,
it's different because there are people who don't do that. Yeah, like that makes sense.
Like saying everybody's human.
Say, I'm glad you're a good person.
Humans in the sense that like everybody is doing what they want. I mean, really, that's the basic. Everybody's doing what they want. What would make the better society is everybody did what they want, but stayed out of everybody else's way. Because you can adjust what you want if it's getting in people's way. Because I could almost. I mean, there's some things, but if a world where you're doing what you want, but you're not stepping on other people's toes, everything will just line up. It's like,
okay, then I have a question. Do you think everyone is equal?
In what sense?
In whatever sense you take it.
In the sense of we can think, but technically nobody's equal. Everybody is their own organism. They have trillions of bacteria and cells that dictate what they can eat, what they can walk, how they breathe, what kind of workouts they can do. It's like in one sense, yeah, we're all alive. We can think. All able-bodied people are equal in the sense of you can walk, talk, move things. But there's stronger people, there's weaker people. No one's equal. I mean, should you have if you're an able-bodied person, should you have the opportunity to do anything an able-bodied person could do? Yeah, but an able-bodied person is not the same as a strong person. You can't do a strong person's job as an able-bodied person. Yeah.
Never say that to someone, bruh.
I will.
No.
Because
no.
if they don't have the emotional intelligence to wait for me
Nicholas,
to say that, I wouldn't say that to him in the first place.
I don't think
I'd
he has
only
social
say that
awareness.
to someone. I don't need social awareness.
Yes,
I do things in the moment.
What
because
you say is offensive.
if you're a person who gets offended, then that's
you just
a
defeated
you
your whole
problem.
purpose. You said we should not do things that offend people.
No, I said get in the way of people.
And as a human, if I don't want to be offended by what you say,
what's offended?
What?
You just hear, ugh, I don't like that.
Yeah.
What's that got to do with them? Why should they
you shouldn't
care?
offend me if you want to treat me as a human.
If I walk outside and I look ugly, I offend you. I shouldn't walk outside. It's the same thing.
That's
different.
That's the person being shallow.
You're trying to change where offended means it is offensive to your senses. Your senses, your brain is like, I don't like the way that looks. I'm offended. I don't like the way that sounds. I'm offended. I don't like the way that makes me feel. I'm offended. I don't like the way that makes me think you are. I'm offended.
How do you treat someone as a human?
You just treat them as they are. Like
what? And what are they?
You match their energy. You give them energy.
What is a human? How do you treat someone like a human? If treating them as they are, like that's almost like using the word in its own definition.
You can't fight fire with fire. That's the whole point of that.
The first step is doing what you want. So with each interaction, you do what you want, and then you see how they are. And like if they don't want that interaction, you just let it go. And if they do want the interaction, then you match their energy. You don't want to keep your energy up, and then they're just like, oh no. I mean, you could if your goal is like get their energy up. You can keep going that. But like, if you just want to have a conversation, you don't got to keep your energy up. You just like, oh, and then you just bring it down, and like, it's about doing what you want. And then if you want to talk to somebody, you just meet in the middle. I mean, you can try to bring them up, and you can try to bring them down too. But it's about doing what you want first, and then treating them as they are, because you're the only thing you can confirm exists. And then after that, you have to think about what could stop your existence. So like, you can say whatever you want to anybody, but they could just flip out and punch you or shoot you. So like, you got to take into account your situation after you take into account what you want. One thing that kind of affirms my statement is something you've experienced. When you try to treat one of our, because like by my definition, so probably by your definition, some of the gas station people are our friends. Like we come in, we have decent conversations. You see them elsewhere, and they don't address you. You're like, oh, they're not my friend. It's not that they're not your friend. You've got to treat them as a human. They are just going about their day, and like, yeah, they could stop and say what up to you. Like, most people probably would, but like, in their minds, they're just going about their day. Like, stopping to talk to you is not how their day was. So if they stop to talk to you, then it becomes like you're a here friend now. Like you're a friend everywhere. Like yeah, you can be a friend everywhere, but friends got location. You can't bring some friends everywhere.
I didn't really kick your butt. I think that's using the friend term loosely. I don't think that's about human and friendness. Like if someone doesn't greet you outside of when you like, let's say you were in one environment where you talk a lot, and then you're like, oh, that's my friend, and you go out and they don't talk to you. That's not your friend. Like genuinely, no, that's not your friend.
I think friends have purposes. Like I have work friends. I think friends have zones.
But I'm saying
I'd probably say we're friendly.
Yeah,
you can even say friendly.
Friend is like, you really can't call everybody your friend because there's some people who want to do certain things, and that's why I like defining work friends and school friends. I think it's a little bit too complex to use the word friend, because friendship is about allyship. It's about, I can come to you for this, that, and the third, or I can't come to you for this, that, and the third. There's just like some parameters that you can't cross, and I feel like if you meet someone in a certain event, but it's only in that event, in that one space, that's someone that you only know in that space. So that's an acquaintance, that's someone you can talk to and be friendly with, and it could go to a friendship level. But would you hang out with that person? Would you go on trips? Would you like
so you could be friends with them? They could be really fun in that environment, but then you bring them around your friends where y'all are just chilling there, and you're like, we're just watching a movie, why are you all that?
Then that means they just don't click to be your friend.
They're still your friend. It's just people have their own, like, you can't bring everybody along, and because they're different, say they're not your friend. They're still your friend. They're just, they're your friend in that situation. They're not your best friend. They're not a really good friend. But I know in this situation, I can talk to them about whatever. Like, if we're doing this, we can do whatever. Or like I talk to them about this and this and this. I have game friends. I could play any games, but I try to talk about something serious. They're gonna call me gay and all sorts of stuff. It's different friends for different things. Not gonna say they're not my friends because they're mean. It's just they're not the type of friends that you'd go to. You need different friends for different things.